Welcome back to the Tip of the Iceberg podcast, brought to you as always by InsideThePenguins.com. Pens, looking for some revenge. That is the theme of the day, Horwat. Revenge, seeking Pittsburgh Penguins against the Anaheim Ducks. It is, as you mentioned last Monday, it is flightless birds versus flightful birds, or whatever phrasing you used, but birds that can fly. Yeah, birds that can fly. Penguins versus Ducks tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern time at the Honda Center. Ducks entering this one red hot, winners of 6 straight, including a 4-2 victory on home ice against the previously undefeated, at least in regulation, Vegas Golden Knights. The Ducks are flying high right now. Penguins are going to be looking for some revenge after that 4-3 loss last Monday night in the waning seconds of a game at PPG Paints Arena. Simple question for you, Horwat. What is the key to victory for the Pittsburgh Penguins going into this one against the mighty Ducks of Anaheim?
Carrying some of the momentum that they gained in San Jose. Again, we don't know how to really analyze that San Jose game. We don't know what was good, what was bad, because of how horrendous the Sharks are. But, you know, even if it is the Sharks, 10 goals is something to stand on. 10 goals is something to build momentum on.
Yeah.
Maybe get a few monkeys off the back. Maybe understand that it is still possible to win in this league for this team. It is still going in with the right mindset. It's very much looking at that game and going, we could still do this. Looking at the Ducks and saying they were playing pretty decently against the Ducks. That was one of those 40-shot games.
Yeah, I got some numbers here that we'll get into.
Cool. Yeah, so like the possibilities are still there. It's just now a matter of carrying that momentum into these last 2 games of the road trip. And we'll talk the LA game on Thursday, but at least taking it one game at a time, starting tonight super late. It's carrying that momentum from San Jose to Anaheim and, you know, understanding that you can still do this.
I got 2 keys to this game, and I like yours. You know, carry that momentum, whatever momentum you can build from playing that team in San Jose, take it, build on it, and you need to start stacking wins, as Mike Tomlin likes to say over on the South Side. You need to start stacking days, stacking wins, stacking performances, and the Penguins need to start doing that because they haven't been able to do that this season.
Kyle was like stacking too.
Yeah.
He
Something about
that a couple times.
They must have had like a dinner at like
the Stack.
Or
Stacked. That's what it's called.
Stacked. Is it Stacked?
Stacked.
Whatever.
I don't even know if it's a real place.
They had dinner at some point and said, you know what? This is the phrase we're going to use in Pittsburgh sports. And the Pirates said, hey, can we come? And they said, no, you're not allowed to. Although AJ Burnett, big timing, the owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and his parking spot back in 2013 was certainly a story I enjoyed. But keys to victory tonight, to wrap this entire show up here, I got 2. 1, that game in San Jose you mentioned. There were only 4 players on the Pittsburgh Penguins that did not record a point. 3 of them all played on the same line, and that is the third Penguins line. I'd like to see them come back and have a really good game. Not that they performed poorly, not that they didn't get their opportunities, but they didn't capitalize on their opportunities, and that's not something that you want to see become, you know, an issue as time goes on. The third line has been good at capitalizing on opportunities since Radim Zohorna joined them in, I believe it was St. Louis was his first one. Yep, because he scored a goal in that one. But you have to get production from them every single game. And we've seen it since he's joined. I think the third line is going to be integral in this one because I think the Ducks, while they are a good team, while they are, in my opinion, overperforming what they should be, they're not the deepest team. And you're going to need your secondary scoring in this one because Mason McTavish is going to be a problem. He's in the top there. Leo Carlson is going to be a problem. He's in the top there. Troy Terry, Trevor Zegras, or however you pronounce it. He's going to be a problem. But they're going to be matched up more often than not against Crosby, against Malkin. That should leave Lars Zeller, Drew O'Connor, Radim Zohorna. If you can continue to build off of the performance you've had, start to capitalize on those opportunities and get a couple goals here. At least 1 goal here in this one. I think a third line goal is a key to victory tonight for the Penguins. And the other one, if you're going to do that, this goes for the third line as well as the other, 15 skaters on the ice. Maybe not the defensemen, more so the forwards. Get in front of the damn net. Get in front of it. We saw it a couple of times on San Jose, which was good. But again, everything from San Jose is taken with an entire salt shaker, not just a grain of salt. We saw what happened the last time the Penguins played the Ducks, and that was their biggest issue, is that Lucas Dostal in the second and third periods and John Gibson in the first period had clear line of sight for every single one of the Penguins shot attempts. And there were 99 of them in total. 99 shot attempts by the Penguins in that game. And the Ducks, on the other end of things, had the same amount of blocked shots as they had shots on goal. 27. They blocked 27 shots in that game. And they only took 27 shots on goal. So yes, the Penguins need to be better with what shots they're getting on goal, their shot selection. And when they get it to the goal, they need people to be there, not just to screen the goaltender, but to put away the garbage goals. That's how you're going to beat this Ducks team. You're not going to beat them, as we saw last Monday, by shooting from 30 feet out and letting Lucas Dostal or John Gibson or whoever's in net see the puck the entire way. You need to get in their line of sight. You need to muck it up a little bit. We saw that somewhat in San Jose. You need to see that become more of an actual habit for the Pittsburgh Penguins than just hey, we did that every once in a while because we were told to. It needs to be.
Yeah, it does. You've been preaching this for a couple of episodes now. It's got to be a consistent piece of this team moving forward. They got to be better at it, successful at it, and that could be huge.
So that is our keys to victory tonight, outside of obviously goaltending. Jeff Merrick yesterday went on his show and went off on the Edmonton Oilers. He said it so many times about a goaltender not being, being the biggest part of a team. He said, I think one of the phrases he uses a lot of turn of phrases. It's hard to keep track sometimes.
It is.
But the one that he used, I think, was a goaltender when you're winning is worth 70% of your wins, and a goaltender is worth 100% of your losses. Well, a good goaltender is worth 70% of your wins, and a bad goaltender is worth 100% of your losses. Well, we're seeing that in Pittsburgh as well. So you need Tristan Jarry. Couldn't go a whole episode without making sure we mention that Tristan Jarry needs to be on his game.
Sometimes watching Alex Nedeljkovic in his 2 games so far, I couldn't help but think to myself, I can't wait for the annual Pittsburgh goalie controversy.
Oh yeah, it'll happen as soon as he comes back and has one stellar game off of injury, and we're all sitting here saying, maybe the backup goaltender is the guy that should be starting. Now, at the end of the day, it should be a tandem.
For like the 13th year in a row, we asked this question.
Dating back to Brent Johnson and Marc-Andre Fleury.
I mean, in the postseason, yeah. But no, one of the other terms that Jeff Merrick tossed out there, I forget where it was exactly, but it was change the name of hockey to goalie, because really that's the game here. That's the name of the game, and not totally wrong. It's going to be a huge piece going forward, and like I said, genuinely, sometimes that goalie controversy, while as goofy as it is to say the annual goalie controversy in Pittsburgh, and sure, I do mean that as a joke, because like in those years past, there have been obvious 1s and 2s.
Yes.
But it's something that if you have that little bit of doubt, well, someone wakes up, right? Your starter might be like, oh, wait, hold on. This is my job. What am I doing? What do you mean there's another contract? No, never mind. Take it over. Sometimes you need that little bit of doubt, right? It's kind of what wakes a team up. Maybe that little bit of doubt going into San Jose was, what are we doing? Playing the Sharks. Let's not, especially after the first period, playing the Sharks. Let's pop 10 on them. Not saying that was the goal, but they got there. So you need that little bit of doubt sometimes, and there's plenty of that to go around for the Penguins right now, considering they're still in last in the Metro. A win in Anaheim still won't get them out of last. They have a hill to climb. It doesn't help that Metro teams keep winning. But they got a long season ahead of them still 72 games left. Plenty of time to catch back up in these standings. And it's starting from the bottom. You can't go any lower than this. Well, yeah, and good, but
you could. Here's the thing:
we won't be dead last in the league all season. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to catch the Sharks for that one. But here's what I'll say before we go on this one: the Pittsburgh Penguins. We both listened to our Jeff Merrick episodes yesterday. The other one that he said is, "Show me a good goaltender, I'll show you a good coach." A lot of people are going after Mike Sullivan this season. A lot of that might be because of the goaltender. Just saying. Goaltenders make coaches in this league, and sometimes goaltenders sink coaches. So just take that for what you will. The Pittsburgh Penguins take on the Anaheim Ducks later this evening. A win is important for them. You look at what happened last year. What sank them? They couldn't stop losing streaks before it got out of control. 7-game losing streak after 7-game losing streak after 7-game losing streak. I believe they had 3 last season. This year, they haven't had a losing streak of more than 3 games, but they also haven't had a winning streak of more than 2. They need to start getting some winning streaks put together. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Tip of the Ice-Burgh podcast. We will be back on Thursday with a full episode, but don't forget to check out our feed anywhere you get your podcast, as well as on YouTube at Inside the Penguins for Ice-Burgh recap coming up after tonight's game. That'll be up tomorrow morning. And Ice-Burgh To Go that comes out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But that's going to do it for this episode. We'll see you guys next time.